Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer and moved to Arsenal. Now, big rumour today, Alexandre Lacazette, right back in the news today. A lot of it off of the back of a story out of the Telegraph publication up here in the UK. A lot of it, I think, to do with the fact that England are playing France tonight. So, let's talk about a French player. So, I was half expecting yesterday that today we're going to hear even about Mbappe or we're going to hear about Lacazette. The person we're hearing a lot about today is Alexandre Lacazette. Linked with a move today, Lyon have apparently said that their asking price for Lacazette is going to be £48.7 million plus add-ons of £10.6 million, which takes the complete price up to around about £60 million for Alexandre Lacazette. Now, Lacazette, he scored 28 goals last season. He was the top goal scorer in Ligue 1. He's 26 years of age. And, you know, listen, he's been scoring goals now year in, year out. We've been linked with him forever. You know, we've in the past, you know, balked at bids for £30 million. Now it looks like it could cost double that. And listen, the price for players at the moment has absolutely shot through the roof. All the teams around Europe know that all the Premier League teams are making vast amount of money. Even Sunderland, who got relegated from the Premier League last year, earned as much money as Juventus did for winning Serie A. I mean, it's ridiculous amounts of money flying around at the moment in the Premier League. And listen, I don't blame the clubs in Europe. They want to cash in. Is, though, Alexandre Lacazette worth it? I mean, we're going to get a chance to see him probably tonight. He'll probably be playing for France against England, him and Mbappe, actually. So we should get a chance to see both of those two. But is Lacazette worth £60 million? Now, I thought what I'd do is sort of do a little comparison, comparing to some of the other strikers out there at the moment and the prices that they're sort of going for. So if you look at, say, for instance, Romelu Lukaku, he's, you know, the asking price is said to be about 80 to 100 million pounds for Lukaku if you're going to get him this season away from Everton. He, of course, scored 24 goals last season. And like Lacazette, has been scoring goals year in, year out. He's been scoring 20 plus, but he's already been doing it in the Premier League. But he'd be about 80 million plus, 24 years of age, so 2 years younger than Lacazette. What about Belotti, who's been linked with a lot of clubs, Manchester United, lots of clubs around. Torino centre forward, had a prolific season last year for Torino, scored lots of goals. He's said to have a £84 million release clause, and he's 23 years of age, so that makes him 3 years younger than Lacazette. But no real international experience. He's just sort of bursting into the Italian team now. No, you know, top flight experience, never played in the Champions League. Not really, you know, just off of the back of one big season, but £84.5 million release clause. Alvaro Morata is another player out there on the verge. We sort of seem, it seems, of signing for Manchester United. Probably going to cost Manchester United about £70 million, which again, that's about £10 million more than Lacazette would cost if the Lacazette one works out to be around about 60 million. Morata, 24, did well at Juventus, it's done okay at Real Madrid, but he's just been a bit part player. I mean, we haven't really seen the best of him. Is he prolific? Would he score as many goals as Lacazette year in, year out? It's really subjective. It's really, you know, I don't know. Listen, with the prices that are flying around at the moment, I think Arsenal are going to have to expect to pay big money for Alexandre Lacazette. And that's the only way they're going to get him if they do want him. What do you guys think? I'm going to do a poll on it. Is Alexandre Lacazette worth £60 million in the current market? Yes or no? Vote and let me know. But it's a really interesting one. Lots of stories as well today around about Alexis Sanchez. Now, Alexis Sanchez has been linked with everybody. He's been linked with Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich, according to the Daily Mirror a couple of days ago, willing to pay up to £350,000 a week in wages. Now they're saying something different, the Mirror. I mean, these papers change their mind every single day. I mean, I could never see that, you know, they'd be willing to pay that amount of wages. He's been linked, of course, to Manchester City. City, as we know, they've got loads of money. We've been told that City willing to pay £50 million plus to match his wages or surpass it, that Arsenal are offering him. But Mirror reporting today and lots of other publications, and also I've got to say I have heard this for quite a while from people out of Arsenal, that they are not going to sell him to any other English club. So not Manchester City or not Chelsea. If anything, I would say he would be more likely, if he was trying to pick one of those two teams, he'd probably be more likely to go Chelsea, because he apparently he really enjoys living in London. But Arsenal have said to him, listen, we'll play hardball with you. You know, here's a new contract, up to £280,000 a week. You can sign that and stay with us, or we'll not sell you to another English club. We'll listen to offers from other clubs abroad, but we will not sell you to another English club. And if it means you staying at a seat for the rest of the season and walking away at the end of it for nothing, we'll do so. Arsenal have never really done that before, but I think they realise it's a real sensitive time at the club. The fans will go ballistic if he ends up at Man City or Chelsea, and I think that the board are aware of that. And if he doesn't sign for one of those two, it's really hard to see where he's going to go. Who's going to be able to afford to buy him? Juventus are not really interested in him. They were sort of the main players. They're not interested in him no more. Bayern Munich, now that they've bought Gnabry, as I said yesterday, looks like they've ended it, or you know, they're not as interested as they were before. PSG don't look like they're interested. Where will he go? You know, it does look, you know, he's not going to go to any of the Spanish giants. So, you know, he was already at Barcelona. They sold him, plus they don't really need him. Real Madrid don't really need him. It could be that Alexis does end up staying at the Emirates. So really, really highly likely that he could stay. And that would be great news for Arsenal if he signs a new deal. Talking of new deals, seems to be new deals for all of the Arsenal backroom staff. Being reported today that all of the backroom staff are going to get rewarded with new contracts, including Steve Bold, the assistant manager, coaches, Biro Primorac and Neil Banfield, and all the rest of the backroom staff. Now, a lot of fans at the end of the season, or throughout the season, should I say, were calling for change. And one of the changes they wanted were changes within the whole backroom staff and structure of the team. They just felt that, you know, things needed renewing. Maybe a new number two, new words in Arsene Wenger's ear, a director of football. Well, listen, from what's been reported, none of that's going to happen. Everything's going to be exactly the same, which I just don't get. Changes are needed. I know we won the FA Cup. I know the season finished off on a high. I still think that maybe a new number two or a new coach or something different needs to happen with the backroom staff, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Arsene Wenger seems to be winning the power, and getting back complete power of the club. Changes were muted previously by Ivan Gazidis, but it looks like everything's going to stay the same. So that's another matter. I just don't agree with that. Listen, I put it out there yesterday to you guys. Who do you think we should sign? Here's some of the suggestions from you guys.
Hi, ArsenalFanTV. I'm an Arsenal fan from Malta. And if it was me, I would buy Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Lacazette as strikers.
Hey, Robbie, Georgia from the US. I think we should sign Lacazette to pair up there with Alexis, and then Seri to take over for Cazorla's spot. He's very good at passer, long passing. Thank you.
We think we should re-sign Cesc Fabregas because he's a true gooner and he can provide the ball to Ozil, who can then make assists. Come on, you Gunners!
Hi, Robbie. I think Arsenal should go for Joe Hart.
Lacazette and Douglas Costa, because they're both affordable, they both want to leave their club, and they're both fantastic players who would fit right in the starting lineup.
Hey Robbie, Monty here. I think we should get Alexandre Lacazette and Riyad Mahrez. That will be the next step we need in winning the league.
Hey Robbie, this is Joe from America. I think we should buy Tolisso, Goretzka, Pickford, and Lacazette this summer.
Some really great suggestions there. Listen, keep those coming in. The email is below and we'll try and get through as many of them as possible. Keep the comments coming in as well. Thank you very much for watching the show today, and we'll be back tomorrow.
Subscribe to ArsenalFanTV.